Thai cuisine is getting really popular here in America, and it's also one of my favorite foods.
Hey, it's also one of my favorite foods, and you might think that you can only eat it in a restaurant. Well, it's so simple to make at home.
It's our Thai-inspired menu. You're going to actually learn how to use this stuff next on Epicurious. Hi, I'm Jonathan Karsh.
And I'm Chef Ishbel Macintosh.
And this is Epicurious. On today's show, we'll take you to one of the best Thai supermarkets in the country and to Pike's Brewing Company in Seattle, one of the world's preeminent microbreweries. Now, why visit a brewery? Because beer is the perfect drink with Thai food.
And don't worry about jotting down notes. All the recipes and techniques we'll use on today's show are just a keystroke away at our website, food.epicurious.com.
Now, you may think that making Thai food is difficult at home, but it's not. You can make marinated grilled chicken and various Thai salads pretty easily. And Thai salads in Thai is
Yum.
yum. That means salad. So we begin with the marinade for our grilled chicken.
The base of my marinade is coconut milk. And this comes out of the can. You can either use regular, or if you want to cut calories, you can use a light coconut milk even.
And could you use an actual coconut and puree it?
Yes, you can. It's a little bit more work, but it's actually quite simple, and you can go to our website to find out the technique on how to do that. And that's, more if you can't find the coconut milk, because the canned stuff is really, really good.
And pretty easy to find.
It's very easy to find.
Okay, so what do you add to it?
Fish sauce. This is a fermented anchovy, and it may sound sort of a bit funky, but it tastes, you can't describe it. It just brings the flavor out of whatever it touches, and it's the essential component in Thai cuisine.
Yeah, fish sauce is really a staple ingredient in Southeast Asia, so I don't really think it's funky. I'll eat it.
All right, now the cilantro, or coriander as it's otherwise known, this is the whole plant. The leaves have this great fresh vibrant smell to them. It's like a Chinese parsley.
And cilantro and coriander are synonymous?
Oh, they are the same thing, and they marry very well with coconut milk. And for this recipe, I'm going to use the actual root of the plant, because that's the strongest tasting part of the plant. So I just washed that and I cut that up. And I'm going to mix it in with the garlic and the crushed black pepper in the mortar and pestle, just to crack it open and to get the full flavor.
Did you know that the mortar is the sorter and the pestle is the vessel? That's
brilliant, Jonathan. Did you make that up?
My mom told me. That's how I learned that.
Who knew that?
But she doesn't know how to make Thai food, but I will.
Well, now you can show her.
So you're just adding it all together to go back into the coconut milk.
Yes, and this is going to go into the marinade, and to that we'll add the chicken.
Oh, the chicken over here. And the chicken here is on the bone.
Yeah, I've left it on the bone because the bone actually imparts more flavor to it while it's cooking. And it holds its shape better too.
And can you use any part of the chicken, or do you recommend?
Absolutely. Dark meat is always a little more fatty and more flavorful, but the breast is just as delicious. And the legs take a little longer to cook than the breast, so when you're grilling, start off with the legs. But the important thing with chicken is chicken safety.
Yeah, in fact, I just touched it, so I should not touch any part of my body at all,
That's right, especially not your face. We start off by washing it under cold water.
Okay, take that one.
Yeah, and anything you touch, make sure you wipe down. Try and touch as few things as possible. It's fine. Then I'm just going to, you pass me those pieces and I'm going to blot them dry.
Okay, and water pretty much kills all of the bacteria?
Yeah, any salmonella will probably be got by this process. And then I'm just going to put it directly into the coconut milk, where it will sit uncovered for about 45 minutes. It doesn't take long, this marinade, because it's actually quite strong. And the coconut milk, it just sort of, it goes into the flesh and gives it the silky, creamy flavor. It's like our cream.
Right. In Thailand, do the faucets work?
Okay. There you go.
Perfect.
You're fine.
It's off. Perfect.
All right, so I'm going to leave, while I'm marinating this, and I'm just going to, turn it a bit. You might want to turn it, 3 times during the 45 minutes, just to get all the surfaces evenly coated.
This marinates, and we move over to the dipping sauce.
It's a hot and sweet dipping sauce, and already I added the sugar to the vinegar. You can use distilled vinegar, white wine vinegar, rice vinegar. Add hot pepper flakes and crushed garlic, and you just bring it to the boil. And that's it, it's that simple. And that will be the dipping sauce for the chicken.
Perfect. Thai food is pretty unique. I mean, we're using coconut milk and fish sauce, and we move over to hot and sweet sauce.
But they all marry together in the end in this sort of superb, subtle way. And it's such a satisfying food because you've got a play of so many flavors and textures, sweet and sour, bitter, crunchy, creamy. And so for me, that's why it's my favorite food, because it just satisfies me.
And Thailand is situated between China and India, so it has the curries from India and stir fries from China. Don't I know something about Thai?
You do. It takes the best out of all those cuisines.
I know about Thai because to help prepare for the show, I went to the Bangluck Market in Los Angeles, one of the best Thai markets in the country. Nancy McDermott, the Thai food expert, helped me navigate the aisles of exotic ingredients and fish sauces. Take a look. In 1975, Nancy McDermott was a Peace Corps volunteer in Thailand. She taught them English. They taught her to love Thai food.
น้ำปลาอยู่แถวไหนคะ
ช่องแรกนะคะขวามือนะคะหน้าเชลฟ์ขนมค่ะยี่ห้อพันท้ายนี่เป็นยี่ห้อที่ดีที่สุดนะคะ
ขอบคุณมากค่ะ
Translation, where's the fish sauce? It's that way.
ได้เลย
Kap kun kap.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Look, it's a wall of fish sauce.
That's absolutely appropriate for looking at Thai food. Fish sauce is it's the salt of Thai food. It's much more important even than soy sauce in Chinese cooking. It's made of anchovies or another small saltwater fish and salt, and it's fermented to make this salty, fishy essence that goes in every dish except desserts.
What do you use fish sauce for?
It's used somewhat as wine is used in French cooking. It adds a quality to a dish. You put 2 tablespoons into a stir fry, and it does something magical. It doesn't come out tasting like fish sauce, and you're just going to have an incredible quality that makes Thai food sing.
Okay, for our sticky rice, Nancy, this looks like the right place.
We're in the cornerstone of the Thai meal. We're surrounded by giant bags. 50-pound bags are what a basic family wouldn't want to buy less than that. We've got big bags of jasmine rice, which is the everyday rice of central Thailand, in fact, of all of Southeast Asia. And then we've also got sticky rice. Now, one thing to remember is I'm calling it sticky rice because I was in Thailand. It's khao nio, but in the West, it's usually labeled sweet rice, and it might even be labeled glutinous rice. But it's all the same thing, and if you can see into the bag and it's that bright white color, you've got what you need.
How do you say sticky in Thai?
Khao nio.
Khao
Nio
nio,
is
that's
sticky.
how you say it. Khao nio. Got it.
The thing to remember with sticky rice is you've got to plan ahead. You need to soak it for at least 3 hours. It can go as long as overnight, and you really can't soak too long. But it's got to soak for at least 3 hours, and then you steam it.
Now these baskets are not only funky and artistic, but actually functional.
Yes, these do a job in your kitchen, and then they decorate when you're not cooking. These are sticky rice serving baskets, and this is a typical northeastern Thai style.
All right, and this one over here is for sticky rice?
Yes, this is the base for steaming sticky rice. You want this about half full of water, and this cone-shaped basket that looks like a hat here is where you put soaked sticky rice. You've got the long grain, flat white rice soaked for 3 hours or as long as overnight. And you put it in here. You want to fill this up about halfway and then set this on the stove and get a good head of steam going, and the rice will cook in about 30 to 45 minutes. And you know it's ready when you can pull out a little bit and roll it up into a tiny ball and pop it into your mouth, and it's chewy and perfect.
Nancy, Thai cuisine is so unique. How is it different from other Asian cuisines?
Well, I think of Thai food as Chinese food with an Indian threads woven into the tapestry. The Thai people came down from China. Their language is tonal, and rice is the center of the plate. But they have all these Indian curry flavors. They use toasted cumin and coriander in curry paste, and all these tropical ingredients that are absent in Chinese food: lemongrass, galanga, wild lime leaves. And so your plate is really a magical tapestry of flavors that are so enchanting for, I think, most people who try Thai food.
Nancy's not only a Thai food expert, she also wrote these great cookbooks, Real Thai and Real Vegetarian Thai. And Ishbel, I promised her that I would cook Thai food when I get back to LA, so you must teach me more about
That was
Thai
really
cuisine.
brave of you. She's an expert, and as Nancy said, the rice needs to soak. It's been soaking here for 3 hours. You can identify this rice by its opaque, chalky texture, and that's what gives it the sticky, glutinous effect.
Great. Well, when Epicurious returns, you're not jealous that I'm cooking with other women, are you? You're okay with that? Okay. I live in my own little fantasy world in my head. When Epicurious returns, we'll show you what Nancy means by steaming the rice. And you don't need a fancy contraption either. For more information and the complete recipes for all the wonderful dishes we're making today, go to our website at food.epicurious.com. Welcome back to Epicurious, and we are making Thai food, and the staple centerpiece ingredient to Thai cooking is rice.
Yeah, which is exactly what we're going to cook here. The rice that I had soaking for 3 hours is just about ready to go into the pot. But first I'm going to line it with cheesecloth, and this will stop the rice from falling through the holes.
And this is sticky rice we're making.
Yeah, that wonderful sticky rice that's so satisfying and has such a fantastic texture.
Sticky rice is literally, it's like a ball of stickiness.
Yeah, it's got extra gluten and starch in it, so when it cooks, it's just sticky and flavorful, and it turns out every time too, because the steaming process just gives you a beautiful dish.
Okay, and rice is the centerpiece to all savory salads and dishes.
Yeah, because you might notice that Thai food is quite strong, and that's because the rice is a foil for all the really strong flavors.
Right, like squid salad.
Yeah, made with tamarind, which is a tropical pod, and this is the pulp that comes from it, and this has a very sort of sweet and sour flavor, and you might have noticed it in a lot of your Thai dishes like pad Thai.
Oh, I love pad Thai.
Yeah, and it's great in dressings, and it's really good with lamb, and even though it's unusual, it lends itself to so many, many different incarnations.
And pretty easy to find?
You can find this in your Asian supermarkets looking like this.
Okay, so what do you do? What do you do to the squid?
I just took a little block of the tamarind off and I soaked it in warm water, and now I'm going to drain it to get the pulp out. I'm just going to force it through the sieve, and that's going to be the base for the sauce for the squid dish. So I will strain it till it eventually looks like that, kind of a thick sauce, and that's going to be the marinade along with the lime juice, the water, the garlic, the fish sauce, and sugar. Now,
And
if
the
you would
squid
throw
needs
that,
to
if you
go
throw
in the
that in the
water.
water for me,
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to cut the squid.
For 45 seconds, right?
Yes, it doesn't take very long. This is what the squid looks like once it's been cleaned, and you just cut it into rings. Actually, in the recipe, it says to cross-hatch it, but that's really not necessary. You can just cut it simply like this. This is what it would look like
Oh, I
to
see.
cross-hatch it and do it the Oriental way, but this is just as good.
And squid is readily available at any fish store, right?
Yeah, you can find it at your fishmongers. Just don't get sold the frozen stuff because it's very rubbery.
Okay.
And that's the whole secret with squid, is to cook it for just the right length of time, because just as soon as it turns opaque, it's ready, because it gets rubbery really easily. So that's almost ready. And I'm going to dump that into the sieve and run cold water over it to stop it from cooking.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so I'm going to cool it down quickly because you don't want it to overcook. And then I'm going to drain it and add it to that tamarind sauce. And at this point, you should let it sit for about half an hour because it really needs to soak up all those strong flavors.
And
So
look at that, it's a Thai salad.
Yes, and I'm just going to let it marinate, and then in the end, I'm going to finish it off with Thai herbs to complete it.
Okay, can I give it a try?
You can, but it's not quite ready yet. It's not going to be as good as the final result.
As they say in Thai, yum, which means salad. We'll visit an award-winning brewery when Epicurious returns.
You can find all the recipes you see on Epicurious by visiting us at our website, food.epicurious.com. Welcome back. Our chicken's been marinating, and now I'm going to broil it.
So, the chicken goes on the broiler simply like this.
Yes, in a really hot broiler, around about 500 on the oven. And I'd say 20 minutes per piece, turning maybe 2 to 3 times. And definitely keep an eye on it because the skin can burn. So just pop it in, and then we'll get going on the eggplant salad.
And Ishbel, these dishes seem fairly exotic, but they're actually really common in Thailand.
They seem exotic to us because they're using ingredients that we don't immediately recognize, but to Thai people, this is sort of everyday food. It can be eaten quite casually or at a sort of grand feast.
Okay, so something like eggplant salad.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sort of everyday salad. And this is how I prepared the eggplant salad. I just took off the ends and I made nice long diagonal cuts, keeping the cut quite even, about 1/4 inch thick.
Is this an Asian eggplant you're using?
Yes, as you notice, it's longer, more elongated and thinner than the Italian eggplant, which is more rotund. And it also doesn't need to be salted the way an Italian eggplant needs to, and it's got fewer seeds. So with the eggplant, I oiled them and I laid them out in a tray and just brushed them lightly with oil. With eggplant, you really need to cook it properly. It doesn't taste nice al dente the way other vegetables do. But if you burn some, which is inevitable, then it's really important to throw those out, to pick through once it's been cooked. So that's what it looks like after it's been cooked. Yeah, because they taste a little bitter after they've been overcooked. And this is how I chopped it into the final, the final salad. You just, put them on top of each other, use a sharp knife, cut them up like this, just sort of roughly.
And it looks like that ultimately.
Yeah, and it's going to go in a bowl and get dressed with, again, the standard Asian ingredients. The coriander leaf, lime juice. This is the hot Asian chili pepper.
Okay, and this looks like red onion?
This is actually shallots that have been sliced very thinly.
Oh, great. I didn't know shallots were indigenous to Thailand, are they?
I think they must be.
Okay.
A bit of sugar to counteract the lime juice and fish sauce. And I'm going to mix this up together.
I love Thai food. Sugar and fish sauce.
It's that repeated theme of sweet and sour, and marinating is another repeated theme because this will sit for, an hour, half an hour, just until all the flavors meld and mingle.
Okay.
And that's a really fresh, delicious salad with a lot of different flavors and textures happening there.
Perfect. Ishbel, do you know what people drink in Thailand?
I know they drink iced tea with condensed milk, which makes it very, very sweet, and a strange lemonade that's both sweet and salty.
And they also drink beer. That's the quintessential beverage with Thai food. And I visited the Pike Brewing Company in Seattle, where brewmaster Fal Allen helped me find the perfect microbrew to pair with our Thai food. Microbrews have become the nation's beer of choice. The Pike Brewing Company in Seattle has been recognized as one of the world's top 10 breweries, as judged in the World Beer Championships sponsored by the Beverage Testing Institute of Chicago. I spoke with head brewer Fal Allen, who oversees the production of a dozen top-quality microbrews at this 25,000-barrel facility. A native of Hawaii, Fal started out as a home brewer, then later turned professional. 8 years ago, he came to Pike Brewing Company.
So, Jonathan, this is really the first step in the brewing process.
What are we doing?
Today we're going to be making our golden ale. This is malted barley. And the barley really is kind of the body of beer. Really what gives it the majority of its flavor and its fermentability.
Val explained that brewing beer involves mashing malted barley, which gives beer its sweetness, extracting the liquid called wort, adding hops for bitterness, then adding yeast to ferment the mixture for its alcohol and flavor. As in cooking, the timing of each step in the process is crucial.
The wort's going to come down, spin around, and that centrifugal force is going to pull all the solids together and separate it so we get a nice, clear, bright wort.
Okay, how much time do we have?
Seconds.
Go turn the valve, Val. Turn the valve. What's the difference between a microbrew beer like you do here and a large-scale commercial beer?
Well, there's more malt, more hops in each pint beer that you drink. And some of the larger macrobreweries use what they call adjuncts, corn sugar or rice or other things that are fillers that are less expensive than malt and have less body, less flavor. So they're a little bit lighter.
The ingredients of all beers are hops, malt, yeast, and water. So how do you get such a variety?
you have the malt and the different varieties of malt and the different regions they can be grown in, and hops and the different variety of hops and the flavors they bring to it, and the different water sources that you can use, and the different yeasts you can use. So it's a very complex procedure and process in some ways.
For the delicious Thai food we're making, what's the best beer? How do you match it?
Well, you either want to look for something that either cuts it or complements it. And with Thai food being hot and spicy most of the time, you probably want something that cuts it. So you want something that's crisp and clean, maybe a hoppy beer. The golden ale would be a very nice one.
And what do I look for to know that this is a quality beer?
Well, you don't want all the flavors to impact you at once. You want to have kind of a nice bell curve of taste. So you want to taste the malt and then the hops, and then it should finish up nice and clean.
Okay.
Cheers.
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 I can't wait to try it. That's a milkshake. That's delicious.
Thank you.
So Ishbel, this is the beer that Fal recommended, and I couldn't help but bring it back from the Pike Brewing Company. Would you like to try it?
Good call, Jonathan.
Thanks. What do you think?
Amber, very rich and actually very strong.
Okay, and do you know about Sing Ha? Sing Ha is a Thai beer.
I recognize that from Thai restaurants.
Yeah, Thai restaurants. It's pretty easy to find in this country. And try that. Slam it. What do you think?
I think that's the perfect accompaniment to a Thai meal because it's got that lime flavor through it that you see in all the dishes.
And who needs glasses? Thai food is informal. Drink it out of the bottle. When Epicurious comes back, we'll show you how to put the finishing touches on this whole Thai meal. Stay with us. Hi, we're back, and look at all this. This is a gorgeous Thai meal. Ishbel, what did you do to the squid to finish it off?
You noticed it was different. Well, I finished it off with a bit of mint, some basil, and a very hot Thai sauce, which is like Tabasco. It's called sriracha, and it's just delicious, and I can't wait to eat it.
That is an exciting bowl of squid. Now, next to it is the eggplant.
Yeah, and I would eat that by rolling that up in the butter leaf lettuce, and the coleslaw, which is an Asian coleslaw, and that's very traditional and not unlike our coleslaw.
And that typically goes with the marinated chicken, which is right there, looking perfect. And in Thailand, the marinated chicken isn't really the center of the meal. It's really the rice.
You eat all the components together. You can have a buffet with 20 different dishes and they all hold equal place. It's the rice that I think this is the thing that holds them all together in the end.
And lastly, we have jasmine sorbet.
Oh no, can you believe that color? It's amazing.
And it's perfect as just a little palate cleanser at the end of the meal. Great. I am ready to eat. Remember, all the recipes you saw here today, and thousands more from Gourmet and Bon Appetit magazine, are available on the Epicurious website at food.epicurious.com. I'm Jonathan Karsh.
And I'm Ishbel Macintosh. Please join us next time. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your Thai food. Goodbye.